Hello and welcome to the first of what I hope will be several videos on the Cambridge IGCSE Physics syllabus, where we'll be looking at each of the topics in turn. So we'll start with the first one, topic 1.1, which is length and time. So let's see what the syllabus actually states that you need to know. Use and describe the use of rules and measuring cylinders to calculate a length or a volume. Use and describe the use of clocks and devices for measuring an interval time. Use and describe the use of mechanical method for measurement of a small distance, including the use of a micrometer screw gauge. And finally, measure and describe how to measure a short interval of time, including the period of a pendulum. So let's look at each of these in turn. Okay, so to measure a length using a rule, that's fairly straightforward. Simply put the rule to the beginning of the object and read where it ends. So of course in this case it will be somewhere around here. Okay, about 5.9 or so. Then to make a volume flow, you'd have to measure the height as well in a similar way, and then you would measure the breadth. So the calculation you would use is simply length times breadth times height. So in this case the length was around 6 and the height around 3 and the breadth around 2, so it would be 6 times 3 times 2, which would be about 36. And the SI units for volumes will be metres cubed. Okay, so to remember that it's not metres, a mistake that many people will make. Okay, so moving along, if we were to measure the volume of a liquid, then the standard way of doing it would be to use a measuring cylinder, as shown here. So simply pour liquid into the measuring cylinder and read off. So there is a problem though, because there is a tendency for the liquid to go up. So I haven't shown it very well here, but it tends to go something like this and kind of dip down and go up the sides. Okay, so this is what may happen. Okay, so then you have a problem, exactly where you should read. So you should read at the bottom here of what they call the meniscus. Okay, as shown there. So this method could also be used to measure the volume of irregular objects. What you could do is pour the same volume into another measuring cylinder, and the volume of the object would be the difference in the volumes that you read here. Or an alternative way you could do it is simply measure the volume in the first place, then put the object in it and see what the change in volume is in. Okay. So moving on to the next topic, use and describe the use of clocks and devices for measuring an interval of time. So there are two different types of time devices, analog and digital, as shown here. So analog clocks do not display the time directly, but they be read off, whereas with digital you'll see the time displayed directly. There is an argument over which one would be more precise. So some people may argue that the analog is more precise because we are able to see positions between units. For example, we can see the minute hand and the clock here is between 1 and 2. However, in reality, the precision is normally limited to each measuring unit. Okay, so going on to the next topic, use and describe the use of a mechanical method for measurement of a small distance, including use of a micrometer screw gauge. So let's look at the micrometer screw gauge. So the typical way that this can work is using to clamp an object using two calipers. There are other ways of doing it, using a mechanical clamp similar to the one you might use in a workshop to hold wood. Move the clamp towards the object so it's held between the two ends, and then read off the distance here. It should be somewhere around here-ish. Okay. In a similar way, it can be used to measure the holes using the other calipers at the other side. So for example, we can read off a distance from here to here, so it'll be a little over 60. So going to the final topic, measure and describe how to measure a short interval of time, including a period of a pendulum. So if I was to show you one swing of a pendulum, then it's going to be pretty fast, and the actual error you would find is quite large. So the best way to reduce the percentage error would be to do several swings. So you could time how long it would take to do 3 swings, for example, and divide by 3. Or even better would be, say, time for 10 oscillations and then divide by 10. In each case, the percentage error is going to be less the more swings that you actually do it for. Okay. So that's the end of this fairly short topic. So I'd like to thank you for watching. So please watch out for later videos. We hope to do videos on more topics in the IGCSE syllabus. And look at our website, www.aimlearning.co.uk, where we aim to put a lot more resources in. And we also do a lot of tuition. Okay.